Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Lindsay and I make fly tying and fly fishing videos. I have been thinking about this video for some time. It is without doubt one of the most confusing subjects to get your head around if you're new to the hobby. So today we're diving into the world of fly tying threads. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced fly tyer, understanding the different types of threads, their sizes and attributes can significantly enhance your fly tying experience. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This video's been on my mind for some time, but I've just thought it's such a minefield, or a can of worms if you like, that I didn't really want to get into it. But I think it will help out beginners that are just new to the hobby. In this video, I want to clarify as best I can the differences in fly tying threads. Now, I suppose it's quite intuitive really. Small flies, thin threads. Big flies, thicker and stronger threads. If it were only that simple. No, as you might suspect, it's not that easy. In this video, I will do my best to make it as simple as possible, as well as examining some of my favourite threads to use. Stay tuned to the end where I will be sharing a hack that can save you a small fortune. Let's start with the first section. Types of fly tying threads. I am going to cover the main threads used, but there are other more specialised threads available, such as Kevlar or flosses. Fly tying threads come in a variety of materials, including nylon, a strong stretchy thread that takes dye well and is often used for general purpose fly tying. Nylon threads have a silky smooth finish and a glossy sheen. Polyester, a strong thread that's slightly heavier and stronger than nylon but doesn't stretch. Polyester thread colours are less bright than nylon. Gel spun polyethylene, or GSP as I will be referring to it from now on. A very strong thread with a slippery but flexible texture. GSP is often used for bigger jobs like jigs and heavier saltwater flies. There are of course silk, a natural thread that's less commonly used today but still available. Cotton and wool, natural threads that are used less and less but are still available. Now you can try different threads to see what works best for you. For example, you can use different threads on the same fly, like switching up the thread halfway through if you're spinning deer hair. It really does boil down to personal preference. Let's move on to section 2, thread sizes explained. Now that we've covered the types of threads, let's talk about the sizes. Thread sizes can be a bit confusing, but here's a simple breakdown. Thread is usually sized by denier or aught. Some threads can be twisted like uni threads, while others lay flat like Troutline's Sumo Silk GSP. Thread diameters were created in the 1930s. Fly tyers have been using 6/0, 8/0, the aught system for fly tying threads, plus many others. However, in the late 80s, Wapsi introduced a thread called 70 UTC or 140 UTC. For their UTC threads based on denier sizing, it has been confusing ever since. Denier is a unit of measurement that indicates the thickness of fibres used in various sewing threads, as well as fly tying threads. It is defined as the weight in grams of 9,000 metres of the fibre. The higher the denier number, the thicker the thread. In fly tying, denier plays a crucial role in determining the strength and visibility of the thread, as well as the overall appearance of the finished fly. For example, a 50 denier thread is commonly used for general purpose fly tying, offering a balance between strength and bulk. This thickness is suitable for creating a variety of fly patterns without adding excessive weight. In contrast, a 200 denier thread is significantly thicker and is often used for tying larger flies or streamers, where added strength is necessary. The increased thickness of the 200 denier thread can also lend a more substantial appearance to the fly, which may be advantageous in certain fishing conditions. When choosing a thread, fly tyers must consider the denier to ensure they achieve the desired durability and aesthetics for their specific fly patterns. Understanding denier helps in selecting the right thread for both the construction and performance of the fly. Fly tying threads are often numbered with a lower number indicating a thicker thread. Here's a quick reference. 80-aught, a very fine thread, perfect for small flies like midges. 8-aught and 6-aught, a bit thicker, suitable for a variety of small to medium-sized flies. 3-aught, this is a heavier thread, great for larger patterns. 2-aught and 1-aught, used for very large flies, especially when strength is crucial. Commonly used in saltwater flies. Guys, if you're getting some value from the video, I would like you to click that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time. A small click from you is a giant leap to help growing the channel. That said, let's jump straight back in. Section 3 then, let's have a look at the different attributes of the threads. Nylon has about 25% stretch, polyester around 15% stretch, and gel spun only 3% stretch. Each material has its own attributes which will affect your fly tying. Let's take a closer look. The first consideration then is strength. Nylon and polyester threads are incredibly strong, making them ideal for larger flies that require durability. Stretch. Nylon has a bit of stretch, which can be beneficial for certain techniques, but if you need a more rigid hold, go for polyester. Let's think about the finish. Silk offers a beautiful finish, but requires extra care. If you're looking for something more robust, stick with the synthetic options. Colour fastness. Make sure to choose threads that are colour fast, especially if you're using vibrant colours that might bleed. Fraying. Some threads like silk can fray more easily than others. Be mindful of this when selecting your materials. Well, I did promise you a little hack that was going to save you a lot of money. So as you can see, I've tied up this cormorant. I've been using a white thread here, and it's a GSP thread from Troutline. It's some of the Sumo thread. Now, if you're a wee bit short of money or you want to just keep your kit down to a minimum, I would suggest you only buy this. You buy it in 50 denier and 100 denier, and that'll do you for all your tying needs. And you might say, well, I want a different coloured head on this fly. What good's white to me? Well, basically, all you do is you buy yourself some Sharpies or Pro markers. I've got a Pro marker here, and this one's black. And all I want to do is colour the thread in, like so, and I'm going to finish off the fly in black thread. Now, I do this as a matter of course when I'm tying things like blobs, and I want to have the white thread because when the fly is wet it gets translucent, and I don't want black thread underneath my frits. I want white thread, so I often use this technique to get that effect. So when you finish, you've got a nice neat black head, and all I would do is I'd use a touch of super glue or varnish, and that'll be as good as gold. I hope that tip helps if you're on a budget or you just want to keep your kit small. Another little tip is with the nylon and the GSP type threads, if you give your thread bobbin a little twist anti-clockwise, it'll flatten out the thread, and what you can do then is split the thread to insert materials for a dubbing loop, which saves creating a dubbing loop in the traditional manner. And if you wanted to tighten it back up again, simply give it a little twist clockwise, and that'll make it a much thinner, stronger thread. Alright folks, let's wrap this up. No pun intended. Remember, The right thread can make all the difference in your fly tying. Experiment with different types and sizes to find what works best for you. If this video has helped you out at all, please don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next one.